Hey guys, welcome to another video for math. Today we're going over lesson 2.5, solving equations with addition or subtraction. Okay, so before we talk about solving anything, let's review. Equations are a statement that says two things are equal. Okay, so the basic example of an equation is 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, so basically it's saying that this side is equal to this side, and it's true, right? 3 plus 1 is 4, so that means it's true. Now think of an equation like you think of a balance scale. Okay, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. If you put that in scale, 3 plus 1 will be on the left side of the scale and 4 will be on the right side of the scale. Okay, so why does that matter? Well, because it relates to this property called property of equality. Property of equality states that if we do the same operation, so whether we add, subtract, multiply, or divide on both sides of the equation remains true. An example is 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So going back to the balance, 7 plus 3 will be here and 10 will be here. Okay, so if you add 5 on both sides of the balance, the balance remains equal. Okay, and when it's equal, that means the equation is true. Okay, now what happens if instead we only add 5 on one side of the scale? Okay, so going back, we have 7 plus 3 and 10 on the right side, and if you add 5 only to the right side, what happens? The scale becomes uneven. Okay, so it tilts kind of like this, the scale, because 10 plus 5 is heavier than 7 plus 3. Okay, same thing goes if you only add 5 on the other side. Okay, so if you only add 5 on 7 plus 3 plus 5, and you then add plus 5 on one side of the scale will tip like this, and that's not true. That's not correct. Okay, it's not balanced. That means the equation is not true. Okay, because 7 plus 3 plus 5 gives you 15, and 10 is not equal to 15. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Same thing goes with subtraction. Okay, if you subtract both 5 on both sides, the equation does not remain true. Okay? Okay, so the scale, again, draw the scale. Sorry about my drawing. 7 plus 3 minus 5, 10. Okay, if you subtract minus 5 on only one side, one becomes lighter and the other one becomes heavier. Okay, but if you subtract on both sides of the equation, okay, the equation remains stable. Okay, and that's what we want. We want our equation to be equal to one another. Now we move on to the next part, inverse operation. Okay, so before we talk about inverse operation, we need to talk about operation. Well, operation is just another word for the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so whenever I talk about operation, you're not going to think of surgery, but the 4 operations of math, okay? Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Well, why does that matter? Well, for inverse operation, it's simply 2 operations that undo each other. So from here, there's another operation that undo itself or the other. Okay. Now I want you guys to think, what operation undo addition and what undo subtraction? Okay. So now say it out loud and let's see if you got it correct. Okay. So addition and subtraction are inverse operation. Okay. What does that mean? Well, if you want to undo addition, you're going to use subtraction, okay? And if you want to undo subtraction, you're going to have to use addition. So that means addition and subtraction are inverse operation. So let's see how does that work. Well, let's have an example. Let's say we have 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, okay? Our goal is you want to undo adding, okay? So you want to get rid of plus 3. So how do you get rid of add 3? Well, you're going to subtract 3, okay? That's why we write subtract 3 here. But wait, didn't I just told you guys that equation is a balance? So that means if you're going to subtract 3 here, you also have to subtract 3 on the right side of the equation, okay? Now subtract, add 3 minus 3, cancel each other out, they become 0. So the only thing left is 2 on the left side. Now why is 2 also on the right side? Well, if you subtract 5 minus 3, you'll get 2. So that means once you undo plus 3, your equation becomes 2 is equal to 2. Okay? Now you might be confused because 5 became 2. Okay? However, okay, our goal is not the answer. Okay? We don't care about 5. What we care about is that we got rid of plus 3, and that was our goal. Okay? And did we get rid of plus 3? The answer is yes. There's no plus 3 in 2 equals 2. My bad. My bad, guys. Any questions? Okay, no questions. So why does that matter? Why do we learn all of this? Well, we learn all of this because we want to use those things in solving the equation. Okay, so previously you guys learned how to use mental math to solve equation, but that's not the best case. Okay, especially when you have equation that has 3 digits, 2 digits or higher, and you don't know mental math. There's a better way to solve equation, and that is to use inverse operation. When you use inverse operation to solve equation, your goal becomes isolate the variable on one side of the equation. So an example is, let's say we have x plus 11 is equal to 25. Our goal is you want to get rid of 11, okay? Because you want x by itself. And to do that, you need to get rid of the number next to it, which is plus 11. So how do we get rid of plus 11? We're going to use inverse operation. Okay? Inverse operation of plus is minus, and we're just putting down 11 because that's the number we need to get rid of. And since we're doing minus 11 on one side of the equation, you also have to minus 11 on the other side of the equation. Okay? Now you subtract, bring down the x. This cancels out. And now we have 25 minus 11, which is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. So your answer is x is equal to 14. Now, why did I wrote it this way? Well, instead of writing it all over again like this, sometimes it's easier to just write it underneath. Okay, just put minus 11 underneath the equation, because when you're subtracting or adding, it's way easier to just bring the minus. Okay, 5 minus 1 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1, rather than subtracting it horizontally. Now that's a bit hard. Okay, so that is your solution that you found, x is equal to 14. However, you must always check your solution. How do we check our solution? Well, you're just going to plug 14 back to our equation. So instead of x plus 11 is equal to 25, you're going to have 14 plus 11 is equal to 25. If you simplify this, you'll get 25. And since 25 is equal to 25, our equation is correct. Okay. Now we move on to the next equation. We have 30 plus x is equal to 86. Okay. Once again, our goal is you want x by itself. So the number you need to get rid of is 30. Okay. If you answered 86, then you're not listening. Okay. 30 is the number you need to get rid of because 30 is on the same side of x and it's closer to x. Okay. So how do we get rid of 30? Well, you just have to subtract 30 on both sides of the equation. Okay? The 30 minus 30 becomes 0, so you can bring down the x is equal to 86 minus 30. 6 minus 0 is 6. 8 minus 3 is 5. So your answer is x is equal to 56. Okay? Of course, check your solution. 30 plus 56 is equal to 86, question mark. Well, let's find out. 30 plus 56 does give you 86. That means 86 is equal to 86. That means our solution is correct. Okay. Now we move on to another one. Let's say we have 54 plus x is equal to 73. Our goal is you want x by itself, so you need to get rid of 54. Okay. Like the previous example, to get rid of 54, you have to subtract 54. Minus 54. Okay, the 54 cancels out, you're left with x, and subtract 73 minus 54. Okay, so for this example, we have to borrow. Okay, 3 minus 4, well, we can't do that, so we just have to borrow. 7 becomes 6, 3 becomes 13. Okay, now we subtract. 13 minus 4 gives you 9, and 6 minus 5 gives you 1. So your answer is x is equal to 19. Once again, check your solution. 54 plus 19 is equal to 73, question mark. Well, let's find out. 54 plus 19, 9 plus 4 is 13, carry over 1. 5 plus 1 plus 1 is 7. So 54 plus 19 is 73. Since 73 is equal to 73, our equation is correct. Okay. Hopefully, you got the hang of addition and doing addition with subtraction. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to undo subtraction with addition. Okay. Our goal doesn't change just because it's minus. Our goal is you want the variable, the letter by itself. Okay. To do that, you need to get rid of minus 35. How do we get rid of minus 35? Well, you have to add 35. Okay. Add 35 on both sides of the equation, bringing down the y. The 35 cancels each other out, and we're left with 27 plus 35. 7 plus 5 gives you 12, carry over 1. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. So your answer must be y is equal to 62. Okay? Our solution is that. Now check your solution. 62 minus 35 is equal to 27. Well, let's find out. 62, 35, 5, 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. Okay, so far so good. 5 minus 3 is 2. Since 62 minus 35 is 27, since 27 is equal to 27, our solution is correct. Okay. Now, I want you guys to try to practice on your own. Pause the video. Okay. Here and unpause once you're done. Okay, guys. Hopefully you pause the video here because now we're going to solve the equation. So here we have x minus 17 is equal to 45. Okay. I like to draw lines on my equal sign if you didn't notice it already. Even if my lines are not perfectly straight. Now, how do we undo this? 17 minus 17? Well, your answer must have been plus 17. Okay. If you added 55 on both sides, you're doing it wrong. Or if you subtract 17 on both sides, you're even doing it even more wrong. X is equal to, okay, bring down the x, minus 17 plus 17 cancel each other out. 5 plus 7 gives you 2. Carry over 1. 5 plus 1 is 72. Okay? So if your answer was x is equal to 72, give yourself an applause because you did it correctly. Now we move on to the next example. Here we have 57 plus x is equal to 85. Okay, our goal is you want x by itself. So what number do we need to get rid of? 57. Okay, so if you answer 85, man, you're not listening to my lesson. Anyway, now that we know the number we need to get rid of, how do we get rid of it? Well, we have to subtract. Okay, first of all, draw the line. Subtract 57 on both sides of the equation. Okay, 57 cancels out. You're left with x is equal to 5 plus 5 minus 7. Well, here we have to borrow again. Okay, so 8 becomes 7, 5 becomes 15. 15 minus 7 gives you 8, and 7 minus 5 gives you 28. So your answer must have been x is equal to 28. Okay? Now if you did both of them correct, now that's applaud. I give you a clap. Good job. And now you're ready to do your homework, which is, or your quiz, either one. Now you're ready to tackle anything related to solving equation with addition or subtraction. Good job. This is the end of the video. Don't forget to click the next video so you can learn about the next lesson. Bye.